Happy New Year and welcome to the 7th episode of our Parcelly Pick'n'Pack series, where today we have a special guest, Nicole, Commercial Director at Stuart. And yeah, we want to talk about the parcel peak and the change of the on-demand space within the broader logistics sector. As such, welcome Nicole first of all.
Thank you for having me. Thanks.
Well, let's start with the most important piece, most likely, that leads towards all those topics we wanted to touch upon, which is the increase in parcel volumes.
Yeah.
And as such, I mean, we know that not only the volume is increasing, but it has an effect since operationally the industry is so challenged to deliver and keep up the promise of delivering on time, that the delivery times are actually getting longer and longer.
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
So I think what we've seen over, not just the Christmas period, but all dating back to Black Friday, right? Black Friday week, Cyber Week, leading on to Christmas, is that increasingly, various carriers and the logistics infrastructure being pushed on such a strong peak has had really tough times coping with such a high volume of parcels, right? So what end customers' expectations evolve to is a higher need for faster delivery options. So what we've seen is that 78% of customers actually expect at least next day delivery, if not same day. Yes. So really their expectations are changing, and that's what we've seen.
Yes, exactly. It's as high as we have seen in the MetaPack report, that 55% in urban areas, UK-wide, expect it same day. So the same day space is growing dramatically, and obviously we can start coping with volumes much easier by shifting more of this parcel volume over to the on-demand space with the partnership we have been pitching for quite some time now to retailers.
Yeah, so I think what we've been working on together, a hub-to-home solution, is one of the ways that we can bridge that gap between the distribution centers of a traditional retailers being so far removed from urban areas where people expect faster delivery times. So bridging that gap and being closer to the end customer can allow us to have that faster delivery speed that they're expecting.
Yes, it's all about this customer convenience, control, choice of delivery options piece. We have been trying to emphasize on in any shared presentation over the last few months, and which has actually converted and translated in a number of retailers who really want to improve on that space.
Yeah, because another interesting stat I thought is that only 18% of all consumers were actually buying in store over this period, which is shocking, right?
Yes.
Because these stores should be used more, but since they're not, how do you speed up that delivery time as if someone was walking into the store actually buying?
Yeah, absolutely. There was also maybe one area that has evolved quite significantly and will impact us now in January much more than in any other month of the year, which is returns. Returns have not only been pulled forward, there were the first returns reported on Christmas Eve, so earlier than ever. But obviously the entire return volume has now reached some crazy values. I mean, up to 40% for specific retailers in overall return volumes.
Yeah.
So this is a big challenge as well.
Yeah. I read about a statistic saying that there was an 80% increase on the 3rd of Jan alone for all return numbers, right? So I mean that's an incredible number that we can't not think about, and even there I think there's a lot that we can work on together in speeding that up. Why? Because a nimble logistics partner like Stuart, who can go and pick up and actually do a collection from an end customer and inject it into our Parcelly hub that then returns it back to DC a lot faster, can really make a difference.
Yes, right? When we talk fast fashion or any other given good of high value, you want to get it back to your warehouse or DC as quickly as possible.
Yeah, 100%.
And on top of that, bundling it up again with this kind of customer experience piece, that you can have a time slot return pickup offered by a on-demand courier. in any given urban area with Stuart, and this dropped off into a Parcelly location, then consolidated and effectively returned to your warehouse infrastructure.
Yeah.
And then if we look into what's coming next and what is coming up, what has 2019 up for us, the retailer piece of our hub-to-home model is particularly interesting, since as Amazon is pushing so hard on Prime and the big A word is coming up every time retailers assess their distribution strategy. It is something it's something unique we are offering now in London to a number of retailers already together, where you can balance out the Prime proposition that seems to be such a big challenge to do, and literally make it available to your own customer base as a retailer with our hub-to-home model.
Yeah, I think that what we've seen, right, is that retailers are starting to understand that it's more than just about a specific day. It's not just about Black Friday and just before Christmas anymore. It's just a whole period of discounts that they can apply for over months that can really drive more volume, more revenue for them. But the missing piece is that delivery, right? So to compete with Amazon, they need to really push themselves over the line and think about, okay, how can they make it work? And that's where, again, our hub-to-home solution can really make a difference.
Yes, absolutely. And particularly for those retailers who are strategically aware of what type of flash sale or promotional items they want to shift in a very short period of time in a given postcode, it is incredibly easy to set this up and make it available almost instantly. Alongside with this, obviously, we have just been finalizing the peak, and which has shown some insane numbers. Black Friday, for example, where we had on Black Friday a year-on-year increase of 11.7%, and for the Black Friday weekend 26% and above. Yet if you look at where the market is going towards those unique delivery options, the volumes on both click and collect and the on-demand piece have been growing much faster than that. So if we look into this customer experience piece and what customers really want, we discussed so many times that customer demand is changing for specific delivery options. 74% of customers in the UK expect click and collect at checkout, and we can see this translated into our annual year-on-year numbers. Particularly over the Black Friday weekend, we tripled, 326% increase year-on-year on this 3-day period where click and collect was just one of the preferred delivery options for them. Similar, the Black Friday weekend as such, but also the Christmas period has been incredibly busy for Stuart.
Yeah, but I think what we've seen from retailers over this period of time is that increasingly they weren't expecting to have such high peak volume still building up towards Christmas, because they thought, well, the majority of our volume has already been eaten out from Black Friday, Cyber Weekend, Cyber Week. So that's been a big change, right?
Yeah. And while the time towards the peak might be running out, the demand for on-demand is increasing actually, since as you say, you have like this kind of last-minute need, and what better than getting it delivered.
Exactly. So a record day was the 21st, beating Black Friday by over 45%. So I think if you manage to give the end customer a great wow effect in the end customer experience, especially on the delivery side, you're more likely as a retailer to see a return, right, of this end customer to your site. Yes,
absolutely. No, I mean, all that said, I think like we have some very innovative projects in the pipeline together. And I can't wait to see 2019 developing and continue to innovate this last mile space.
That's great. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. And thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
And we see us for the next episode of Parcelly Pick and Pack. Thank you.